So, is a screenless tablet better for digital drawing and painting, or are you better off with a pen display where you can draw directly on the screen? Both have their pros and cons, and it's really going to depend on your situation. So let's take a look. Hello, Ryan here. So you're a beginner trying to decide on the right drawing tablet. You're wondering what is right for you. Is one option better than the other? And in the case of screen versus screenless, as with all things, it depends. I'm not going to talk about specs, but we're going to break things down here into 5 categories: the learning curve, the price, portability, desk space, and lastly, posture and ergonomics. I'm going to be using the Deco MW and the Artist 12 2nd Gen as examples here, both by XPPEN, and I have reviews of each on the channel, which I'll link to at the end of the video, so you can check that out if you're interested. Now let's dive in. The first category, the learning curve. Why is this here? Well, because trying to draw on a screenless drawing tablet takes a bit of time to get used to. You're not looking at the same surface that you're busy drawing on, you're looking ahead of you at your main monitor. Isn't that difficult? At first, it is. It's a very weird disconnect in the beginning, and it can be quite frustrating for some, but all it takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, and it becomes second nature soon enough. Your hand-eye coordination clicks. I started out on a device like this, and to be honest, I still kind of prefer them. Once you get used to it, it's kind of like using a mouse, and you don't look down at your mouse while you're busy moving your cursor around, do you? What is different here between a mouse and a drawing tablet is that the corners of your working area are mapped to the corners of your screen. So when you put your pen down on the tablet, your cursor is going to appear at the corresponding point on your screen. With pen displays, you're looking and drawing on the same surface, right? So it feels much more natural. It's a lot easier to just jump into. It still feels different from pencil on paper, but yeah, it is much easier to get into. So for this category, I'm giving the point to pen displays. Now, a major consideration for most of us is going to be the price. Generally, and I'm going to use that term probably quite a bit in this video, generally screenless drawing tablets are going to be cheaper than pen displays. That said, there are some more affordable pen displays in the market now. The Artist 12 here, for example, usually goes for about $200, sometimes even less, depending on where you are in the world and whether there's a sale running. In some parts of the world, it might still be a bit more expensive than that and still out of your budget. The Deco MW here, though, on the other hand, normally goes for about $70, and that's quite a big difference when you're starting out and you've got limited funds. Even if you do have a bit more to spend, typically I recommend that a beginner goes with a screenless drawing tablet that is a bit cheaper, and then you purchase an online course or two, some learning resources, something that will help you level up, and then you can apply those skills no matter what device you're using. I feel like that's a bit of a better spend, more value for money, sets you up a little better for the long term. So for this round, of course, the point goes to screenless drawing tablets. Next is portability. Now, of course, the most portable option is going to be a standalone device like an iPad, a Galaxy Tab, Surface laptop, that kind of thing. But let's say you have a laptop already, you're looking for a tablet to plug into that you can keep working in your desktop software. Screenless tablets will usually be slimmer and lighter than a pen display. If you have a backpack or laptop bag that's already filled with stuff, this is a good option, not adding too much extra weight. A pen display can also be a little bit more messy in terms of cable management. I don't have the right ports on my laptop, so I have to use a 3-in-1 cable with 2 USB-As on one side together with an HDMI, which all feed into a single USB-C where I plug into the tablet. It's a bit bulky, not really ideal when you're moving around from one place to the next. The Deco MW uses a single cable, but I can even eliminate that temporarily because it's also wireless, and that's always a plus in my book. Then there's the matter of needing a stand. Obviously you don't need one for a screenless drawing tablet, but for display tablets, it's a necessity. Some have little fold-out legs on them, but most are going to require a separate stand. I'm using this really neat stand that works for the iPad too, but it adds a lot of extra weight to my bag. There are simpler, lighter, and more compact options. Another element of portability is being able to draw on your phone. Screenless tablets have wide Android capability, making them ideal for on-the-go drawing on your phone. There are some display tablets that work with Android as well, but your phone's going to need the right USB-C port that can push out a video signal, and that range of devices is really limited. So for this category, the point again goes to screenless drawing tablets. Next, shifting from portability to a more fixed workstation, desk space is an important consideration. You can get big and small of both screenless and display tablets. For smaller spaces, the Deco MW can sit off to the side of your laptop or your keyboard in place of your mouse, or in front ahead of your main monitor, being pretty compact, not taking up too much space, but still being very comfortable to draw. The Artist 12, if I was using one of those fold-out stands with a low drawing angle, would take up a bit more space on the desk. This stand at least lets me elevate the tablet off of the desk and sort of overlap space with my laptop. But my limitation here is the size of tablet that can fit in this clamp. I can't really go with anything bigger or wider than the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. So here the Artist 12 2nd Gen fits in perfectly, but going up to the Artist 13 2nd Gen might be a bit too big for it. Many people with a larger desk setup are probably also going to enjoy having a second screen. Even though this display is a bit on the smaller side, I still get that added versatility and productivity from having an additional extended display. So this category is very much a case-by-case sort of thing, but for the most part, if you have a more permanent space, it's really valuable to have a second screen, so I'm giving the point here to display tablets. 2 for 2, we go into the final category for the deciding point. Now this applies to both the more nomadic artists and those with a more fixed battle station: posture. In my opinion, you'll be able to keep much better posture with a screenless drawing tablet, especially if you have a keyboard tray to put it on. You're able to sit back in your chair, keep your neck straight while looking ahead at your monitor. While I was having a bit of trouble with inflammation in my shoulders, I found it really helpful being able to put my tablet on the keyboard tray in front of me. I could draw comfortably while still keeping my elbow quite close to my body and not straining my shoulder. So if you have those kind of physical limitations, it's something to think about. Smaller display tablets on these lower angle stands are probably going to have you hunched over, bending your neck quite a bit. We might all be quite used to this from hours spent in our coloring or sketchbooks, but it does take its toll on you if you have to sit for hours at your desk working commissions or schoolwork. So if you're going for a display, get a decent stand. If you're going with something smaller, a stand like I have here is great, or if you're going a little bigger, maybe consider getting a monitor arm that you can adjust and set to the right level for you. But I would say that a screenless drawing tablet is still the better option. So there you have it, 3-2 to the screenless drawing tablet option, but like I said, this is all very much dependent on you and your situation. Hopefully all these considerations help you in making your decision for your next drawing tablet. If I left anything out, you still have questions, then do drop a comment down below. That's all from me in this one. I hope you found it helpful and interesting. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys all again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Happy painting.